Welcome
to the Snohomish podcast.
Not going to say welcome back.
Snohomish Film Podcast.
We had a really wonderful 2025. A lot of ups and downs. But I think we're going into 2026 with a lot of exciting projects coming up. We have Justin with us now.
Yeah.
Things are looking up.
Yes.
So do we want to talk a little bit about some of the things that we experienced in 2025?
I think so. First, let's talk about what this podcast is.
What is this podcast?
This is an opportunity for us to talk about our company, talk about Snohomish Film Company, talk about things we're doing. And I think what I would like to do is have it give people some insight into what a film company is and does. Like, what are some of the behind the scenes things of, hey, we're thinking about this shoot coming up, and how are we thinking about filming it? And, what are some of the needs that they have, and what are they using it for?
Yeah.
And because when someone wants content, it's like, okay, I think I need video because people tell me I need video. And studies show that video helps grow your business. But then it's like, how do I think about video? Mm-hmm. And so I think this podcast would be a really good example of like, look inside a film company. What do they do? What are they about? Historically, film production has a ton of gatekeeping. Like film, when you think of film, and maybe we could actually talk about this in a future episode, but like, what do you think about when you think about the film industry or video production or whatever? A lot of times my mind goes to Hollywood or like big agencies who make Super Bowl commercials. But it's like in 2026, we're in 2026. What does that actually look like?
Yeah.
And what does it look like to partner with a company that does that?
Yeah.
So that was my thought.
Great.
I mean, I think businesses could watch this and see what other kind of projects that other businesses are doing.
Yeah.
And does that work for them if they're like needing some ideas of content for social media or their website, as we're talking about our projects.
Yeah.
Maybe they're getting ideas.
Do you think this would be a cool place to like watch edits? And then like in real time. So it's like, because part of this is because we were like, we should do content strategy. And as Justin and I were doing content strategy, we were like, this would actually make really good podcast content because it's like insightful. We're talking about really cool things. It seems really interesting to us.
You guys are funny.
Sometimes. But like part of that was like we were reviewing video content from other shoots. But I'm like, if we're reviewing content and then that's up on the screen and people can see it and see our feedback in real time, that might be interesting.
Yeah. It'd be something to try. We're all about trying things.
Yeah.
Throw it at the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin, why don't you talk about yourself a little bit? Because people they know us if you're watching. Maybe you don't know us, but Sam and I own Snohomish Film Company. We are married. We've been married for a very long time. And we have been growing over the last year and have been feeling the need for quite some time that we needed to add to our team. And I've known Justin in the past, but we brought you on in October of 2025.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk a little bit about your background?
Yeah, I can talk about myself. I'm definitely like later in the story of Snohomish Film Company, but and I definitely want to hear about early 2025. But yeah, I've been kind of looking for work all year, and it's funny because I kind of started out in video production years ago, and my trajectory has just been kind of pursuing marketing and content creation and campaign management, all kinds of different things. But we both kind of have worked together in a couple different settings. We worked at a church, which I think gives us a lot of leg up on storytelling and what a lot of businesses are looking for. We know how to look for, in the church world, it's all about storytelling and nonprofit, connecting with engagement and your community. And so we come from that background. We come from a startup that had its ups and downs. And so we've been through a lot. And so when you called me up and was like, hey, we're growing and we need help, I was all over it because, when you can work with somebody, like that makes a big part of the job feel like the right fit. So that was great. And, video production is just something that I love to do. And interviewing, like I love, it's such a skill to like get a good interview and pull those responses out of people. So, came on part-time in October. I was in Disneyland when I was kind of like in the process of figuring out what we're doing, and in the middle of those conversations, which Disneyland is where I want to be when I'm talking about
always, right?
Yes,
that's where you always want to be.
Already trying to plan my next trip.
Nice.
Started in October part-time, and then we were just growing so fast that I came on full-time in November, and now it's 2026, 2.5-3 months later, and just excited to kind of lead a lot of the shoots and a lot of the edits and see how this team grows and the business grows. And so, I'm here, excited.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you'd been on the team for like 2 weeks, and then we were like, what do you think about full-time?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
It was, I don't even know if it was a full 2 weeks at that point.
Yeah.
And we kind of realized very, very quickly that maybe we need to bump this up.
Well, because for so long, I had been doing all of the filming and editing, and Sam had been doing most, if not all, of the like client coordination, communication, business, like
attempting project management, which I'd really never done before.
Yep. And so like we were taking on all of the work, and I think coming from a background where I am not used to delegating, and I'm not used to saying, hey, can you help with XYZ, and like really clearly define my process and how I do things. And the more that like I was able to send to you, and for me, it was like a big trust thing. Like for the longest time, being a filmmaker for over 10 years, you're so used to controlling every element of the process that giving that away is like kind of scary.
Oh yeah.
And so when I gave that to you, we had tested out a few like part-time editors and remote editors and things like that. And some of them were good. Some of them were just getting too busy, and some of them were just not reliable. And so the more I started giving you stuff and the more you were sending it back, and I was like, this is exactly how I would do it. Like I only need to change like hardly anything, and it's ready for the client to see. And it was just like, okay, like more and more trust was built just from I trust you with this content, and I know that you're going to do it justice. And then all of a sudden it freed me up, because for so long I couldn't meet with a client or I couldn't do a shoot because I have another meeting. Yeah. And now it's like, wait a minute. I can. Yeah. We can grow. Like that's what growth is. And it's just like this when you started part-time, I got like a taste of that. And I was like, okay, we need you full-time. Yeah. And we need like 5 more of you by the end of the year. So if you can work on that clothing thing, I think that would be great. On it. Yeah. But yeah, I think what I really appreciate, Justin, about you, and I mean, with the jobs we've had together in the past, is like you always ask really good questions of like, not even of the person we're interviewing, but to the people who want the project done. It's always like, hey, what is this project for? Why are we doing this? Like, what is this going to accomplish? Because that influences everything about the production of it. And I just so many times will jump in and be like, okay, let's go, let's film, let's do it, let's make a thing, and not take that step back of like, what is this thing actually doing? Yeah. And so I think that's something I'm really excited. One skill that you bring that I don't have as much of is those questions of asking how it's going to be used to help accomplish the goal. Yeah.
Well, and I think we complement each other really well, because you have a skill of jumping into something and making something out of nothing. It's like we go to a shoot and I'm like, I don't know what this shoot is about. And you don't know what it's about necessarily. And all of a sudden we just come out with something that is great. And I think that like when you can put those two things together of like someone that asks really good questions and someone that can like just like create something in the moment, then you got like both sides of the coin. You can create something really good. So
definitely.
I know that I am learning a lot from that. It's like I just go into a shoot and I'm like, I don't have any of my questions answered, but we're gonna figure this out. But it's a good challenge to like think creatively in the moment, and figure out what the client needs. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I think something that I learned in film school, a guy was talking about editing, and he was framing it in two different ways. And he said one version of editing is like Lego blocks. You have unlimited Lego blocks and you need to build something. And so you select the blocks that you need to build the thing that you want to create.
Yeah.
But that usually comes with a plan. It comes usually with guidance of like, we have an instruction manual and we have the thing we want to build and all the pieces. Let's build the thing. I think you, if I'm not mistaken, that's how you think.
Right.
Like that's how you think of the thing.
Yep.
And then there's other editors who see like a sculptor. It's like there's a block of stone or there's a block of granite, and I see something in that block of thing. And then part of editing is chipping away at that to create the shape of a story.
Yeah.
And that's how I think. Like I totally think in that way of like, I see a thing, I know there's something to it, I go in and capture it. And then like the editing process, or even now, like when I'm in an interview or when I'm talking to someone, I can start to see it before it takes shape.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting to have a little bit more of that foresight of like, okay, these are the right questions to ask to get to the thing I want.
Yeah.
And that's like when he talked about that concept of editing, I'm like, of course it's a sculpting thing. Like that's the only way that you can
That's
edit.
what everyone's
Yeah. And then like knowing that other people and that perspective on storytelling and content creation can be approached different ways.
Yeah.
Helps me to frame how I think about
Yeah.
video production.
Well, but I think, especially coming from a church background, but I'm realizing that business side is just the same way. Most people don't know what they want. So early in my career, I used to come in and say, okay, tell me what you want and let's like map it out. And most people approach that as like, that's your job. Like, I need you to figure that out and solve that problem. And so I've learned that most of the time you're going in and they don't know what they want. They just want something.
Yeah.
They know they need something, but they don't know how to get there. And that's what we can do as a creative team is like help them figure it out. And sometimes it's in the shoot. You're there and you're figuring it out as you go. And I'm learning to use that bent of like asking the right questions to like, because I'm the kind of person I need to kind of be a little prepared before I go. So I try to like think through those questions beforehand, and I use that in the middle of the shoot to ask the right questions, and then kind of using it for myself to frame the edit and the project as I'm editing and stuff like that. So it's like that's how I can use that skill of like asking the right questions is more internally.
Right.
But then there's the side of like just creating in the moment. So yeah.
Well, and you've already helped with that in terms of project management. So we're using, not a sponsor. We're probably going to say this a lot. Maybe sponsor. Yeah. Not a sponsor
someday.
But we're using Notion for project management.
Yeah.
And you're really helping to create different things on that. And we're starting to create really good templates and good ways of tracking the journey of a project. You know, before this, it was notes on our phones. And
which I still love to use, by the way.
Yeah.
Brian hates that I still use it. But it was pretty much Notes app. I think you used some other things for to-do lists.
I was creating a calendar. Basically on Google Calendar, I would take all of the things that were on our to-do list and I would block out time saying like, for this hour, I'm doing this thing. And hopefully I get it done in this amount of time. And then usually I wouldn't, or usually my ADHD would kick in and I would get distracted with something else. And so then I would constantly have to shuffle those things around. Then I started using Motion, which is a cool AI calendaring app that like does that automatically. You put in your tasks, it gives you the time, puts it in your calendar. But then I was like, okay, I can do that, but then it doesn't block off time in your calendar. So then if someone wants to schedule time with me, they can. It doesn't show it as blocked.
Right.
And so then I would get all these calls with clients, or I'd have networking events or do all these things. And now the only time for me to do these edits is like in the evenings or at night or
1 a.m.
1 a.m. And so now I'm working full time during the day, basically doing business development,
Yeah.
and then full time in the evenings trying to do the edits and creative work.
And part of the reason why that happened is because, and this just kind of goes back to like where we were a year ago
Yeah.
at the beginning of 2025 versus now, like growth happened really quickly and we were not prepared
Yeah.
necessarily for what to do or how to scale. Like I know I did not have the like skills yet to like be able to know what the heck to do in terms of project management, or I was just trying to like make sure I didn't miss emails, you know, or like make sure that I put everything on the calendar or, you know, responded back to everyone. And so I think that was one of the big like pieces of this, of how we got to the point where we were like, oh boy, we're kind of drowning a little bit, because not necessarily because it's too much work, but because we're just overwhelmed with like, have we gotten everything we needed to get? Like, are we missing things? Like, are things falling through the cracks? So getting everything, using Notion, and Justin, you really helping us like utilize that tool versus when I first got in there, I didn't know it very well. So I was just like making a list, you know, of all the things, but obviously I knew that wasn't using it to its full potential.
Yeah.
But now feeling like we have a good understanding of all the projects, things are not falling through the cracks. At least hopefully they're not, but it really sets us up well for this year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There's a couple things that we migrated to Notion, but there's a couple things that were in my head that didn't get to Notion. And so over Christmas break, I was like, oh, frick, I have to do that thing. Oh no, I have to do that other thing. So there's like 2 or 3 projects that I have to wrap up, but then we should be fully Notionified.
Yeah.
Notionified. Do we want to talk about, so you mentioned 2025 and
Yeah, I wanna
the
hear.
rapid scaling. Do you want to talk about, when do you have to leave? In like 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. For the last 15 minutes of this podcast, why don't you talk about last year, then we'll start looking at what's ahead.
Well, yeah, we were in a really different spot this time last year. I remember thinking, okay, the holidays are done. I'm ready. Emails are open. Let's go.
Yeah.
And it was crickets. Like,
Yeah.
we were like, okay, it's not like we expected just this flood of inquiries to come in, but you know, you had already been doing a decent amount of networking and in the months leading up to that. And so I think we were hopeful that there was going to be a lot of people reaching out to us. And that didn't happen. And so I remember that was when we wrote a script and we made that little video for social media. It was like our first like ad that we made.
Oh yeah.
And I think the beginning of it is like, are you a business owner in Snohomish County?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yep.
Was it something you paid for?
No,
An
we
ad?
just made it
Okay.
ourselves.
We ran
Like,
it
did you
as
run
an
it
ad.
as an ad? Yeah.
It did awful.
Yeah.
And we can talk more about what ads work and what don't.
Can
Yeah.
talk about that, yeah.
It did so well organically on our social media page. It did nothing when we paid. I think we paid like $100 or something
Yeah.
to like promote it or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we didn't like throw a lot of money
No.
at it, but it ended up being really great for just getting eyeballs on us, and people I think were really excited to just like see our faces and hear from us and be like, oh, like that's what you guys do.
Yeah.
'Cause in the video we just kind of explained like, this is our company, this is what we do, this is how we can help you. And that really opened up, I think, a lot of at least conversations with people. I don't know that I would say that we necessarily got like any big jobs out of it, but it really got some good conversations going.
Yeah.
And so that was really great. And then that kind of like kicked off the year. And then honestly, by March or so, like things were rolling. Like
Yeah.
we were like, here we go.
We more than doubled our monthly revenue by March
Oh yeah.
from January.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
What was the switch? Like, what was the catalyst for like all of a sudden March happens and
Well, I think part of it I think a big part of it was your connections with the people that you were networking with.
Yeah. Because I had joined I joined the Snohomish Chamber and the Marysville Tulalip Chamber late 2024.
Okay.
So it was like end of the year, August.
We didn't actually join the Marysville Chamber
Oh,
until
until-
last year,
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
but
Like
we were
early last year.
Yeah.
sometime. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So I was building a lot of connections at chamber events. I joined a business referral group in Marysville. That led to a lot of networking opportunities and people referring me to other people, which that's the perfect thing that a networking group does.
Yeah.
And so that the Marysville Business Group has been a huge help in like growing our business. Some of them do work with us, and like we did get some clients from the group, but like for me, going to a networking group or a referral group had always felt so gross because I'm like, I have to go in here and sell to people and see them every week. And if they don't want to work with me, then it gets awkward.
Yeah.
And it just became this really weird feeling. And then the more I got to know the group, I'm like, oh, this is just like about building friendships and relationships and like helping their business,
Yep.
regardless of if they use us as a client or not.
Yeah.
And it changed my take on those groups. And that was one of the catalysts that helped grow our business. Through them, we were able to get the YMCA contract that we have. We were able to network into a bunch of other businesses through that and getting, And so that was, I think, one of the big catalysts for us.
Nice.
And I think that would definitely be like a big, I don't know, tip that we would have for other businesses that are like looking to grow. It's like, are you making connections? Are you building relationships with people in the community? What's your networking look like? Because no, you don't have to be at every single networking thing there is. There's millions of them, but pick a few and really start investing time into those relationships because it ends up working out, I think, in the long run.
Yeah.
And then I think it was I think it was in May last year when we ended up talking to Phoebe at Maple House and ended up moving into the first studio space. That was a big deal too because people were like, "Oh, you're Snohomish Film Company and you're also like downtown." And I think people started recognizing that we were, we're like a part of the community, and so that I think helped as well. Like for us to just, again, to continue meeting people and being downtown. And I mean, like you seeing a lot of people every day, just walking around on the street.
Yeah.
That was another big shift in growth too. And that led into wedding season, which was absolutely bonkers.
I think that was when everything went crazy because we had grown Snohomish Film Company working for businesses into a full-time job. Like it was full-time work for us. And we had already booked 12 weddings over the summer.
Probably
14 weddings over the summer. But that we booked those pretty much before we knew that we were going to be full-time doing Snohomish Film Company stuff. And so we had grown that, and then all of a sudden, I have 14 weddings to shoot this summer as well. And we want to keep shooting weddings. I love shooting weddings. I love filming and telling those stories. And
that was just a little bit too many.
Well, it was too many, but we didn't have the team to do it.
Yeah.
And when you shoot a wedding, they want you to film it. Like they don't want you to outsource it to someone else. And so that just led to chaos over the summer. And fortunately, we did have an intern help us for some of the stuff, which was helpful in getting some of that workload taken up. But it was chaos.
It was wild.
It was, insanity.
And I mean, once we got through that wildness, then all of a sudden there was Justin.
Yeah.
And, had a really great last quarter of the year. And I think really looking forward to, I don't know, I guess just like honing in on all of the systems that we've put in place, all of the things like for me personally, like just getting more comfortable in the role that I'm in and more of like kind of the administrative or business management side of things. Like there's just a lot of stuff that was a very steep learning curve for me that I never have done before. I did not go to school for. I never had anyone tell me how to do some of these things, and some of these things my brain does not naturally want.
Well, it's like the Legos statue or like
Yeah.
sculpture thing. It's like brains just work differently.
Yeah.
And neither of our brains work
Yeah.
with numbers and finances.
No.
So that's when you hire help.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like having you have maybe like the instruction manual for the Legos, but the Legos are nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
So you're just like, okay, well, I think maybe thanks to Google or other people, I maybe know how to do this, but like, where do I even start? Because I don't even have the like tools to do it.
Yeah.
And that's not entirely true because I do, but I think my brain just like, my brain goes into like crisis mode. And with things that I don't come naturally to me. And so, yeah, there's a lot to look forward to this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Let's see, how much time we got? You have to leave in like 10 minutes?
My alarm's going to go off in 5.
In 5 minutes? Okay. Let's talk about 2026.
Okay.
You kind of already did, but
I
like,
did a little bit.
what are you looking forward to? What are some of the themes we want to see this year?
Well, I'm looking forward to.
I have to think about that for a second.
I mean, there's a lot for me because it's all, jumping into some new roles, but just being a part of. We're talking about being a part of like a networking group for me in a chamber possibly, and I think it's a stretching thing for me, but I always, because I've been a part of groups like that, and I always walk away just like energized, and like even though I'm like a super introvert, like I just love connecting with people, and then I'm exhausted afterwards. But it is a good time, and it is fun to hear other people's stories and like how their business is growing and what they're doing to juggle all the different hats that they have to juggle, and help them out, like give them advice on like, oh, you want to shoot your own content, like here's some tools you can get off Amazon that can be helpful.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that, and just making those, getting those referrals and reaching out to possible clients and stuff like that. So, but also just, tackling some of the shoots that are coming up. And I think it seems like the rhythm of just craziness, and then figuring out how to sort out the craziness, and then getting to a place of like calm, and then the craziness happens again, and then that just seems like a rhythm, but that's kind of seems like how you grow as a company. So
I think so.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. I think one of our clients, but also someone who's kind of a mentor to me, is Levi. He owns Core Contractors, and shout out to Levi. Hope you like the new set. But one of the things that he was talking about is like business owners who say no to things. Is like, that's not how you run a business. It's like when you see a growth opportunity, you run after it and figure out how to build a system to support it. And so many people who have excuses of, oh, I can't do this, networking group because I have to take, my kid to school in the morning, or whatever it might be, or I have to go see a client for a meeting and they could only make this time work. It's like, hire someone to go to that meeting for you, or hire someone to go to the networking group for you, or figure out how to build a system to support the things that are important to you as a business.
Yeah.
And so I think looking forward to this coming year. Also, shout out to last year, we did win the new Business of the Year award with the Marysville Tulane
We did.
Chamber.
We need to bring our.
We do. We need to
trophy
have that
to
here somewhere. Yeah.
The studio.
But Levi gave me that award because he won New Business of the Year last year. And so the winner of the year before, the winner of the award the year before gives it to the new recipient. And so it was a cool full circle moment of like him winning it, and then him giving it to us. And now we have that. And he won Business of the Year last year in 2025. So he's like, you got to win Business of the Year this year. And I'm like, I don't know. That's a stretch, but who knows? But a big theme for me this year is just like building a system that works for a growing team. Because once we really dial that in, we can hire 10 new people and be able to do 10 times the amount of stuff that we're doing now.
Yep.
Because we're building the systems to be able to help with that. And so that'll be a big theme for me this year.
Yeah. And I think for me, I kind of already said this, but just like for me personally, it's just getting more confident in my role and what I'm doing. Because there's a lot of people surrounding us now as well who are helping me to figure out what the heck I'm doing. And I really appreciate that. And I'm excited to like feel more confident in those things. That's going to be really great.
It's going to be really great. Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet.
Cheers.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Catch you on the next one.
We need to come up with a name for this podcast.